Hey everyone, welcome to a Pioneer video. Today we're playing Izzet Emerge, that on the social medias I've been referring to as hot noodles because it's hot and there's noodles. So the purpose of this deck is to get Kozilek's Return in the graveyard and then cast Elder Deep Fiend, which taps all their lands and kills all their creatures, and then you have an empty board with a 5/6 creature, and you can figure out how to win from there. So outside of that, the game has a pretty reasonable, fair tempo plan too. You have these Rekindling Phoenix, Bone Crusher Giant, Brazen Borrower. These are all creatures with built-in card advantage. There's a Chandra if you want to get frisky with a Planeswalker. Lightning Axe. You get to main deck Lightning Axe because you have these cards that are good in your graveyard, like Flamewake Phoenix, Kozilek's Return, Champion of Wits. You don't mind discarding them, so you get access to the juiciest burn spell in the format. I have one Wild Slash over the 4th Axe just to hedge on all that discarding. Izzet Charm. Every mode is relevant in this deck. It's a main deck soft negate, and you can destroy a creature, and you can loot 2 cards, which puts Kozilek's Return and Phoenix in your graveyard right where you want it. Then Champion of Wits is the glue in this deck. So Champion of Wits does everything you want it to. You may have seen lists with the Royal Scions in this spot, but Royal Scions does not do everything that Champ does. So Champion is a 3-drop, and so that means you can emerge it on turn 4 for Elder Deep Fiend. So the Champion digs you for the Deep Fiend, puts Kozilek's Return in the graveyard, make sure you hit your 4th land drop. Like, if you want to be emerging Deep Fiend with K Return on turn 4, Champion of Wits is the best enabler for that. It's possible that there should be another one in the deck, like Brazen Borrower might be the cut for a 3rd championship, or Champion of Wits. But I want to run a league with this 75 first. I went 6-2 at the Star City Invitational with this list, and I have not lost a match in local Pioneer evenings yet with the deck. So I like this shell. There's a lot of work that can still be done with it. I know Ryan Overturf added green, and he has a pretty sweet Teamer Energy build that still has this shell in it, the Deep Fiend Return shell with Champion. But this is the base stock kind of pile, and let's see how it does. Alright, so on the draw, this deck is pretty mana hungry, so you can't keep a 1-lander. I got 2 lands here. I'm going to keep this. So I'm going to bottom Wild Slash because we have the return to discard to the Axe. We have a 3-drop to enable the Fiend. Can't put a land on the bottom. That's why we mulliganed in the first place. We have a pretty clear path to our combo here. Discard it, emerge it. We just need 2 more lands to make it all happen. Alright, we're playing in some sort of green deck. Those are usually good matchups. I'm not going to kill the elf because I can axe something bigger if they cast it. Oko is the only thing that could really punish me not killing the elf here. Speak of the devil. Alright, so there's Oko. Alright, we have our 4 lands. So we're going to have to dance around this Oko. That's one of the worst cards to play against that exists. I'm going to take my beats, but I'm probably going to axe this food if they don't cast anything else. I could borrow it, but that doesn't get K Return in the graveyard. But I guess I don't actually care about that. I do care about getting Stubborn Denialed, though, so I'll just take my 3 here. And if they cast something bigger, I'll kill that. Goose. Please keep overextending. Nice. Alright, so Stubborn Denial would be a huge beating here. I'm going to axe the food, discarding Kozilek's Return. All right, another Fiend. All right, so I'm not gonna... I'm gonna cast Brazen Borrower as a creature in their end step, and try to pressure Oko a little bit, and then try to sweep them up with the Fiend next turn, on their next turn. All right, they've smartly identified not to cast their Lovestruck Beast into this Kozilek's Return. Ronus. Okay. That creature is indestructible. Cast Brazen Borrower, the creature version. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of damage on Oko here. Forgot to check if Ronus has reach before I attacked. It does not, so we're good. So I'm going to Deep Fiend in combat rather than in upkeep here, because I think I might be able to get them to commit a Planeswalker activation or something else to the board before they start attacking. Like Lovestruck Beast. Got him. Wow, they even dumped their food. That's great. Oh shit. I should have done this before combat. I'm taking 5. Alright, can... Indestructible and Death Touch. Yeah, that was bad. I should have done this before combat. I'm taking 5. I don't need to. Just got lost in the excitement that they dumped so many things. Let's tap Oko, because we can. Stubborn Denial cannot save them from this, because this is a triggered ability. Looks like they're trying to cast Stubborn Denial. It's not going to work. Really? Oh. Can't attack or block. Yeah, already attacking. Yeah, I fucked that up. Whoops. But we get to clear Oko. Oh, Sanctum of Ugin right on time. Alright, so maybe it doesn't matter. So now in their upkeep, I'm going to emerge this Deep Fiend, sacking the first Deep Fiend. I'm going to tap all their lands, search another Deep Fiend. Hopefully we can just tempo them out from here. Alright, so yes, I want to get another Deep Fiend. I would like to draw another creature of some sort. Like they're at 18. I'm not gonna win just by chaining 2 Deep Fiends and attacking for 10. Bummer. Alright, so they're at 11. If I make another Deep Fiend, that puts them to 4. I think I might want to save my Fiend. Because right now their board just got wiped. They have kind of an anemic presence. They have 3 lands and this thing, which basically isn't a permanent right now. So if I can save the tap effect for a, if I can get one more attack in, then the tap effect is lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm miles away from hard casting the Deep Fiend though, so that's not really on the board. But if I draw like a Bone Crusher Giant or Brazen Borrower, Champion of Wits would be bananas. Heart of Kirin. Okay, that's a way to make Ronus into a real permanent, kinda. And 1/1 creature. Okay. Alright, so Mutavault can't attack now. Killing me with these lands, though. Alright, so now I'm going to have to use my Deep Fiend. Because I took that 5 for no reason earlier, I'm at 9 instead of 14. So I'm probably going to have to use Deep Fiend to tap them down in combat. I suppose I could have tapped Heart and their 3 lands in the upkeep. Well, I guess it depends on what they do this turn. Like if they play Lovestruck Beast and crew Heart of Kirin, that's lethal, so obviously I have to noodle them. Okay. Oko doesn't really do anything. Alright. That thing's mana cost is still 8, even if it's an elk. So that's fine. Alright, Heart of Kirin is a 4/4, which turns on Ronus. Okay, so now I do have to tap some stuff. Alright, so we're in the beginning of combat. We're not going to attacks this time. I won't be fooled twice by myself. Tap all your permanents. We're still in a ton of trouble with this Heart of Kirin. We need a follow-up. Brazen Borrower would probably do what we need here. Kozilek's Return. That happened in the wrong order. So... Alright, I can't attack with Mutavault because then I just lose. I have to kill Oka, though. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's no reason to play a land. Alright, more Okos. Alright, I think we're losing this one. That was a few too many lands in a row. If this K return happened even a turn earlier, before we deployed this last Fiend, we would have been okay. They smartly saved their Oko activation this time. Alright, so I could K-return now, which puts it in the graveyard in case I draw Deep Fiend. 1, 2, 3. But I have enough mana to do that anyway, so. Alright, champion, find me that last Deep Fiend. Hail Mary, full of grace. We didn't find the Deep Fiend. We found Brazen Borrower. That might buy some time. Alright, so if I attack, do I lose? I can block Ronus with Champ. Alright, so I'm going to attack Oko. Yeah, Oko really is the best card in the format against this deck. It's kind of gross. Yeah, the Brazen Borrower let me have that attack, or else they could have just, like, taken a loyalty off to animate Heart. Oh, they found a 4th land. What have they been holding all along? We lose to Stubborn Denial this turn, which they kind of made it clear they have a long time ago. Okay, so that costs 3 to activate. They can pump Heart of Kirin and still activate Ronus. Or they can pump Heart of Kirin with Ronus and still Stubborn Denial. So I think I have to cast this as the creature mode just to block. Because getting this stubbed, we're just dead. Oh, that gives trample. We're just dead anyway. Alright, should have tried to bounce it. Alright, multiple mistakes against this card I have not played much against. Alright, people, read your opponent's cards. Good start. Okay, so we want our removal spells. Aether Gust is really good. I'm not sure if we want Mystical Disputes and Stubborn Denials just to fight over Oko. Like, I'd rather overpower it. So, Brazen Borrower is kind of medium here because it doesn't block well. Oh, we do want the Chandra also. Alright, how much would Wild Slash actually do? They have elves, but everything else is bigger. So maybe we don't need all these Wild Slashes. Though slowing them down, especially when we're on the play, is big. Alright, so Borrower is medium. It's super susceptible to... I was saying it's super susceptible to Stubborn Denial, which made me think that this one might actually be worse. Though we can't cut a whole lot of them. Rekindling Phoenix is really bad against Oko. Flamewake Phoenix is really good at pressuring Planeswalkers. It's also one of our best payoffs. We've got to pay attention to how many 4-power creatures are still in the deck when we leave our Phoenixes in, because I've cut 3 4-power creatures already. I think cutting one of these might be fine. And, like, creatures are the most cuttable cards in this deck, which is kind of dangerous because you still need to apply pressure to your opponent. But I think this spread is acceptable. Maybe on the play. Oh, too late. Moto locked it in. On the play, one of the wild slashes I brought in should just stay a Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, this hand has exactly what we want in an opening hand. Because, like, the most bone crushable thing is a Llanowar Elf in their deck, and on the play will be at 2 mana to do that in time. On the draw, Wild Slash is better. Alright, so after board, we're worried about, like, Scavenging Ooze, which is a card they probably didn't have in the main, but they might, because there aren't that many great creatures in Pioneer, and Scavenging Ooze is one of the big creatures that has utility. Alright, so we have Fumarole now. Fumarole might have won us last game? I'm not sure. I mean, playing tighter would have won us last game, but... Once upon a time. To the surprise of nobody. Alright, Steel Leaf Champion. That dies to K-Return. Come on, Wild Slash. Ooh, Izzet Charm. That counts. I'm doing this because we have the combo all lined up, the big payoff, and I don't want to just get overrun by like Oko or Scavenging Ooze before I get that off. Alright, now we got some choices to make. So I can Champion of Wits here. Hope they don't have Scavenging Ooze in their hand. I could just stomp this Goose. Hope they don't have another land. I could K-Return just on the front half. Hope they don't have another land. This is actually a really interesting call. I think I'm just going to stomp this thing. So that keeps them off of Stubborn Denial a little longer. Not that that matters a lot, but like, if they were leaning on this 2-lander with a bunch of mana dorks, then they could just die right now. Alright, it was not a 2-lander. They could have been at 5 mana, but they're not. Instead they're at 3. So that's all fine. I'm going to cast this Bone Crusher, because this can trade fair and square. So like we saw in game 1, if you pay off too early and they can rebuild, you don't necessarily win. But if I can just like beat them on this fair game and just save this combo for later, surprise them with it when they're overcommitted, that's a way better place to be. Yeah, like there's 4 cards in their graveyard right now to my 2. Alright, so running Phoenix into Oko is rough. Oh, whoops, I'm not supposed to play that land. But if they don't have exactly Oko, Phoenix is going to end this game. And if they do have Oko, I can smash it with my Elk and Fumarole next turn so they don't have Oko. Oh, the old hardcast Once Upon a Time. I like that. Finding land number 3. I will block so fast. Alright. Now they're just not attacking. So we're... Oh, geez. Alright. Did you find a stubborn denial? Okay, they had one. That's fine. Just working through it here. I'm not going to attack. Am I going to attack? No, I like this holding pattern. Like, unless they draw Oko, which they clearly did not have last turn. Like, I have a 4-power thing that keeps coming back. And their 4 toughness things die forever. So, I mean, unless they somehow think Okoing the egg is better. Oh, Scavenging Ooze. Okay, that's troublesome. Okay, so that was a really good draw. So they can make this a 5 toughness thing at the end of the turn. Alright, so let's just hope they get greedy. If they activate it even once right now, we can kill it. Okay. Guess we're still in trouble to Stubborn Denial. Oh shit, I fucked up. Now they have to eat another thing. Alright, they smartly did not. Scavenging Ooze, so good. Questing Beast, now we're taking a zillion. Guess I should block. That's twice I've played around Stubborn Denial and just lost because I did it. So maybe I should stop doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not enough mana to champ plus K return immediately. So I have to champion though. Alright, 2 lands was pretty good there, because we didn't want to discard that other stuff anyway. Alright, pretty sure I can't block this. Nope. Don't want to block the other one. I will take my medicine here. I don't think there's a way to get Kozilek's Return into the graveyard. Alright, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I can at least nerf their combat step a couple times here while I try to find a way to remove this ooze. Alright, it's out of Lightning Axe range, so we need Brazen Borrower now to deal with this thing. Sucks they can eat my champion right away too. Alright, so I have to Deep Fiend here. this, 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 and this. Ooh, disdainful stroke. That's messed up. All right. We still don't die this turn, and we get our triggers. I just don't get a 5/6 out of it. The blue-green deck is tough because they have Summer Denial and Oko. The mono-green deck is a laugher. Alright, we live to fight another day. Kinda. I think there's 2 borrowers left in my deck. Yeah. Alright. Ooh, Aether Gust. That card also exists. Okay, so I'm gonna Aether Gust in their upkeep, or in their draw step. They can decide what they want to do with Scavenging Ooze. Then that should give me a window to... Unless the card they draw is a counterspell, I should have a window to K-return them. I'm 1 mana short of clearing their whole board. Izzet Charm, I'm only gonna have 1 mana left after I K-return. I guess draw stepping this doesn't matter at all. I can just do it in combat and it's the same. The card's already in their hand that they're gonna want. And maybe they'll sink some mana into Ooze. Alright, don't have a counterspell, please. Cool. Let's clear out what we can here. Killed a goose, okay. We're actually still in trouble because we have no way to cast this Deep Fiend. Okay, Brazen Borrower, what do you do? Do you do anything? I don't think so. Like, Brazen Borrower keeps me from dying immediately. It does that. Because we know their top card is Scavenging Ooze. I'm not going to be able to get this Kozilek's Return off, though. There's no path to that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to bounce Questing Beast in combat. And then play the Borrower, Deep Fiend next turn, but by then Ooze is back online. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's still 5 creatures in the graveyard, so Ooze can get huge. There might be a window to zap the Ooze with Izzet Charm, though I can't imagine they'd give me that. Boing. Alright, so they're definitely going to just replay Ooze. Let's see how much mana they leave up with it. they didn't actually have to do that. They could eat carry turn in response to the trigger in the future. Alright, so I'm gonna jam Brazen Borrower. Trying to figure out if there's a way I can tap their lands on my turn if I just like main phase Deep Fiend and trick them into tapping too low to ooze enough things. But I don't think that's possible. Lightning Axe would be a really good draw here. Or another Gust. You know, now it's less about Ooze being a insane creature from the graveyard and more about it being a 4-power creature. They should eat my Champion of Wits, though. Like, if they don't, that's a huge mistake. I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a mistake not to eat it, but it also doesn't matter. Because Questing Beast has haste, and Brazen Borrower can't block. Lightning Axe. Ooh, a second Borrower. That's pretty exciting. Alright, so the tempo game is on suddenly. I'm going to attack because I can't block. I'm also going to emerge with this creature. Alright, so I'm just going to pass. Don't want them to know my secrets until it's too late. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could bounce Ooze now and then tap their lands on their turn, but if they draw a land, they still get to cast Questing Beast. Alright, my champ... Oh, ED... Fiend is leaving. That was a significantly worse card to target than the Champion of Wits. Oh, don't worry, they're getting that too. Alright, so I'm going to bounce... I think I'm going to bounce Ooze in the upkeep. Now Scavenging Ooze, it's more about just keeping it from being a 10-10 than it is about anything else. So I am willing to sacrifice Elder Deep Fiend to permanently remove Questing Beast. So I can bounce Ooze in their upkeep, and then I can flash in Fiend to trade with Beast in combat, because the Beast has Death Touch. They're deciding how deep they want to go here. They're also at 2 minutes on their clock because they've been playing very slowly. They're probably multi-queuing. So if this does go to a game 3, we win the match. And they might even struggle to finish what's going on right now. Alright, so I'm going to bounce the Ooze right now while I know they can't counter it, because their only card in hand is Questing Beast. Alright, so Ooze is in their hand. Okay. Sure. So that can make a food into an elk. That was a very good draw. Questing Beast resolves. So now I'm in a spot where I can tap Questing Beast, tap food, and kill Oko. But then I die next turn, which is worse than being alive. So let me just read all the words on this. Can't be prevented. It's Planeswalkers. Vidge, Death Touch, Haste, no trample. Okay. I will let them attack if they want to. They have to. Like, it's not even like clever to play around Elder Deep Fiend here. You just have to slam. Because you're getting your trade. Tap, tap. Just because it's funny. Tap Questing Beast. That doesn't stop it from attacking. It's just tap now. And I'll tap this forest again. Oh, and they forgot to activate Oko. That's lucky for me. All right. Flip this to a 4-1. Attack Oko. All right. Don't have another Questing Beast. I'm not dead to this Golden Goose. That Hesh-Up Oasis was pretty close to killing me with Golden Goose, though. Alright, there's Ooze. Graveyard is still full of creatures. Make a food. Alright, they're on that F6 game now. Alright, come on. Something to interact with Scavenging Ooze. I guess I can block it with Fumarole. Oasis doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can Charm for loot mode and still activate Fumarole to chump. And I can draw Lightning Axe, which doesn't help now. It'll help next turn, maybe. Alright, this is definitely a race against the clock. I don't know that we could win this game fair and square. Oasis, +3/+3. That does not give trample. Alright. Make this into a creature. Alright, so they're in F6 mode. I can cast Brazen Borrower in their upkeep that they'll have to respond to. And in their main phase. Alright, and we win. We might actually win that game fair and square. Like, look at the board state right now. We fought through that pretty well. I don't know, that was a tight one. Ooh. Nothing like a 45-minute match one to get our quick league started. Alright, so we're on the draw with a no-lander. Easy mulligan. One land, also not going to do it. Jeez, this is rough. Alright, well, I'm not going to go to 4. I think Fiend is the worst card left in this hand. Or a Lightning Axe might be worse when we're already this low. But Axe pitching return. Alright. This deck plays 25 lands. That's pretty close to half the deck. Oh, we're playing against mono red. Glad we kept this lightning axe and shipped the 8-drop. Gonna have to take 2 here, but we're gonna take more from the Soulscar Mage if we don't. Finding the land was tight because now we have multiple points of interaction. Another Soulscar Mage. Bromat Courier. Alright, so this board is begging to get K returned. Let's just find the 3rd land. Okay, sweet. We're in business. So I'm going to use Brazen Borrower to bounce the Soulscar Mage, because they'll probably try to get a few prowess triggers off it. Alright, let's see what they got. Okay, that was their only wizard, so that's cool. Baited out that spell at least. Saved a damage from prowess. They're pretty close to this Bomat actually being, like, worth popping. But let's see what they got. They can either cast an instant and save Soulscar Mage, or pop Bomat and replace their hand. Okay. So that saves me a damage from prowess. It also clears out the Bomat Courier. I have another removal spell. Oh, great. Alright, another Bomat. Powerful stuff. Lightning Strike. Okay. So I'm going to 5 here. And they have a redraw. Alright, so I think alright, what's the best way to play this? I don't think Lightning Axe is involved in my best play here. I think I should Izzet Charm the Bomat Courier and leave back Mutavault to block. Like, this line depends on them drawing a land or another creature, basically. But giving them more options to reload seems a lot worse. Have to block. It is likely they have a spell. Yeah, so shock. Yeah, that's fine. You're dead if we didn't. Alright, that was a good draw. Alright, so now we're dead to every spell on their deck. Let's just hope they don't draw any for a very long time. Alright, they passed the turn, so I don't know why. Like, I'm hellbent, so either they drew a card that doesn't help them, or we're getting slow rolled. Or they drew like a shock. Fumarol's good. That'll brick future Monastery Swift Spears. Alright, Soulscar Mage. Oh, hello. So you're saying there's a chance. Alright, so I have to Fiend in their upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's find out if we're dead right now. Alright, they didn't have an instant. Cool. Still being dead to any spell out of them is pretty brutal. Alright, so this Phoenix, this Phoenix. Alright, opponent. Now or never. Don't kill me. F6. Alright. The Fiend. I feel like I got away with something there, but I'll take it. Alright, so Brazen Borrower is not good in this matchup. Just not being able to block is pretty unacceptable. But Wild Slash, and we get to bring in the rarely seen Red Caps Melee. This card is in the deck basically for this matchup exclusively, and here we have it. So Stubborn Denial and Aether Gust. I don't think we have 7 spots to bring in like all of these things, but we want some number of them. Alright, so this Phoenix doesn't block. This Phoenix costs 4. I definitely want Bone Crusher Giant. Just all the spot removal has to stay in. So Gust is more reliable, but Stubborn Denial is better if we're there. I like to plan for the worst case scenario rather than the best case scenario when I'm sideboarding and making my decisions in Magic. Yeah, Gust removing prowess threats also. Stubborn Denial can't hit them on the stack even. So how many Rekindling Phoenixes should I be cutting, I guess is the question. Can probably lose another one for another Gust. Alright, just big pile of removal. And is Chandra also better than this card? Probably is. But how are we winning the game if we cut more Phoenixes? Chandra is strong removal, but she's really slow to actually win a game. Basically just trading 4-drops here. So that doesn't change the curve, it just changes what we're doing with the curve. And I think having a removal spell in that spot is worth it. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. I can see a bunch of other configurations where you have Stubborn Denials in. I can see like Mystical Dispute being acceptable. Like I could see a more creature-based plan. Like there's a lot of stuff you could do, but this is what I'm doing. And we have a keeper. Just tons of removal. And a counterspell. Got this extra blocker here in Mutavault. Alright, so I'm going to take this opportunity to play Steam Vents tapped. If they had played a creature, I would have taken 2. But it's clear they don't have a 1-drop. Yeah, they have like a burn-heavy hand. They probably have Eidolon. Yeah, there's always that like thrill and terror when the burn player just doesn't have a 1-drop. It's like, okay, so your hand is 7 burn spells. Got it. Alright, yeah, they're just coming for the face with fire here. They don't even have Eidolon. Oh, light up the stage. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, they have a Swift Spear coming next turn. Alright, cool. Our shields are pretty well up. Alright, so having the Wild Slash also in exile with the Swift Spear means I'm not going to stomp this thing this turn. Ooh, now I am going to stomp it this turn. Yeah, so I'll just take this 2 damage. If they want a Wild Slash before damage to get the extra 1, then I get that window to stomp. That was a little bit of a gamble, but not by much. Like, by waiting, I risk taking 1 less damage, but I gain taking 2 less damage. So. Alright. It's all coming together. Slash that. So now I have a counter spell, several removal spells, and 3 threats hanging out. Ooh, Chandra. She's a powerful card. I'm going to get my Bone Crusher on. So that bricks any creature draw. If their hand is just like 4 Wizard's Lightnings, they could burn me out. But they don't have a Wizard, so... Yeah, you have to take those windows to get on board, because just sitting here with all these counterspells up would not actually win the game. Alright, so now I have tons of stuff in my hand to interact with them. Feeling pretty good here. I'll Izzet Charm a Wizard's Lightning in the end step if that's what they have. Basically anything I can charm, I will. Wild Slash in response. You got me. Alright, so now we can gust any spell in their deck except Bomat Courier, which we can Wild Slash. Or just block with Mutavault. Alright, they went Hellbent to do that. So I'll take this tempo play. Alright, they bottomed Lightning Strike. Cool. Alright, so drawing a land there means I can summon my Phoenix and activate Mutavault. I'm at 8 and they're Hellbent. It's time to get nasty. So they're also at 8. They're dead on board. I'm not. But I don't think a card exists in Pioneer that can deal 8 to me from this spot. And there isn't. Got him. Alright, so we're on the draw. The perfectly keepable hand. We got 2 mana, a loot, bunch of removals, some stuff to dump to the loots. So this is pretty strong. Desert of the Indomitable. So this is certainly some kind of Field of the Dead deck. Let's figure out what specific flavor. Oh no, Grazer. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have an super like high value loot here. Dumping 2 Phoenixes is pretty bananas. Rejuvenator. Alright. And we have 2k returns, so we can fight through zombies for quite some time. Yeah, definitely looting. I was going to say maybe I leave it up for the Hour of Promise that's probably coming next turn, but definitely not. 2 Phoenixes gone. Ooh, another Phoenix. I'm going to cast Bone Crusher Giant second main, The reason I'm doing it second main is I don't want my Phoenix triggers to go on the stack in case I want to give them a chance to forget they're down there. Which isn't like a real game decision. It's just like minor gamesmanship, I guess. They have a lot of redundant lands for a Field of the Dead deck. Though this Shrine of Forsaken Gods is kind of terrifying. Alright, here come the beats. Just hope we don't get Ulamogged. Arboreal Grazer having reach is going to save them a lot of life here. Hopefully they're just on a zombie plan with this triple K return in my hand, though I'm definitely not beating an Ulamog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, they could cast it if they have it. Alright. Alright. We got another turn. They did an Ulamog immediately. So I'm going to play Rekindling Phoenix. Hope they continue to have nothing. The Stomps will shove us through Fogs, because some of the text on Stomp is damage can't be prevented this turn. Uh-oh. They're tapping mana. They changed their mind. Oh, okay. They're probably about to cast a Hour of Promise. Yeah, and they wanted to make sure they had the second field in play to get maximized triggers. That's fine. I am very well set up to beat a Field of the Dead plan right now. Just tempo it right out. A land would be great. Sweet. Okay, so now I can K-return pre-combat. That'll clear their zombies, and then I can get my Phoenixes back in combat, both of them. They also lose their Grazer if they block. And here come the jerks. So they should block Bone Crusher Giant this turn. Or that's fine. One of the 4 power things. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure I beat Ulamog too. Or they have Westvale Abbey. So if they make a land drop, they get 4 creatures. So they would need a 5th creature to flip this Abbey. Yeah, so like if their hand is a land and they draw Grazer, they can Grazer. That can shoot the land into play. Then they can make Ormondal, the Juice. Ormondal J. Simpson. Shrine of Forsaken Gods. Oh, for some reason I was thinking doing the math as if Field of the Dead makes 2 zombies each. Yeah, they weren't even close. Alright, nice. Okay, so against a deck like this, our spot removal spells are not good. So Chandra seems like it might be good if this game goes long at all. Though, if the game goes long, they're going to be crushing me with Field of the Dead. So maybe that doesn't make any sense. Maybe Stubborn Denial and Aether Gust are what I'm interested in. Mystical Dispute, just ways to stop their payoffs from happening. Stubborn Denial is only good if I have ferocious because they're going to have the extra mana laying around for sure. Brazen Borrower does not seem like a good card in this matchup. So that's an easy cut. The Lightning Axes are an easy cut. Do I need all of this stuff? Is the question. Mystical Dispute can hit like Ulamog when the rest of the things can't, but I don't think that makes any sense. So Aether Gust, I think I do want the Chandra. And these recursive threats, hard to kill threats seem important. Wild Slash is like another way to get through a fog, but I don't even know if they have fogs. They seem like they're trying to go big rather than try to spin their wheels for a while. Alright, I'm gonna present this deck. Though, as always, I can see arguments to do this differently. Okay, so this hand is not exactly blazing out of the gates. But neither is my opponent. Oh, the double Soul for Falls makes this unkeepable. Alright, I'm going to mulligan. Alright, this hand's much better. Keep, and I think Rekindling Phoenix is the card I can live without. So, while I was thinking about it, while I was waiting for the match to start, I probably do want Mystic Dispute because this build of the deck, it's not just Ulamog. I forgot about Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. That's a pretty good card that I don't want to resolve. So that will, if there needs to be a game 3, I will have Mystic Dispute in the deck. That also puts a premium on this Izzet Charm, or the Izzet Charms in my deck. Alright, Stubborn Denial's pretty decent. I'm definitely going to loot with Izzet Charm. Like, as scary as Ugin is, I'm not going to just, like, destroy my own game plan in case they find one. You need 7 lands to get there. They'll do that pretty quickly, though. Alright, so loot mode. Alright, Phoenix and K Return are pretty easy choices here. Spire Bluff Canal right on time. Alright, so we have lots of interaction. It's a little tenuous. Let's hope they just slam the ramp spell here. Oh god, Thought-Out's here. We're dead. We're so dead. Alright, that's a pretty powerful sideboard plan. They're probably taking Chandra. Because Chandra is the only thing in my hand that does something different than what the rest of the hand does. Like I have a bunch of lands and spells. And Chandra just kills Thought-Knot's here, so that's bad news bears. Now they know what they have to play around to. They don't know about this one. Alright. If I can get a creature into play to emerge that with, then we're in good shape, because the K return will clear the Thought-Knot and draw me another card. Alright. They just tapped right out into Stubborn Denial for that. They must have several of those in their hand. Why would they do that? They knew about it. Ooh, the champ. Alright, champ. Shield's down for 1 turn. Let's hope we hit a land off this. Okay, we hit 2 lands. Nice. So Gust and Island can get out of here. play Sanctum of Ugin. Alright, let's hope they don't Thought Knot me right now. Oblivion Sower, gross. Alright, so they exiled a Champion of Wits, Bone Crusher Giant, and a K return. They got a Mountain. Alright, so Aether Gust might not be great. Alright, so I'm gonna wait until combat. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That might be a terrible idea. So I'm trying to figure out how I can kill this Oblivion Sower. And the answer is definitely in combat. Yeah, I'm gonna... If they Ulamog me, I can live with that. The deck usually plays like one of those. But I want to let them go to combat and just eat their whole board. Alright, so Deep Fiend, tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shrine, Shrine, Green Source, Green Source. I would like to do K return. So I draw a card from Thought Knot. Oh, I got an extra Deep Fiend. That makes me wonder, so I'm not going to sack my Sanctum here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of want the mana, and I have another Deep Fiend now to get through that anyway. Alright, hopefully Stubborn Denial just makes this turn work. What does that do? Now I'm going to save my stub for like Ugin. Though if they find another Thought Knot Seer or Oblivion Sower. Alright, don't care about that. Eat this Sower. Alright, that was a pretty good turn. Let's see if we've gone deep enough. Okay. Mono Fiend aggro now. Yes. Alright, so we're punching through. I'm going to leave up Stubborn Denial rather than emerge another Fiend. Alright, so Field of the Dead now active. The Field of Ruin's really good. And mess with my Mutavault or my Sanctum. I hope this is Ugin and not Ulamog. Bummer. Alright, let's see what they do with it. Straight after my creatures. Sucks I can't emerge off the Phoenix, because I'd rather have that still in play. I still don't want to activate my Sanctum, because I still have another Deep Fiend. I'm glad they didn't attack my mana, though. That's nice. Fumarole. So if I get hit by Ulamog, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm one short of... So if I chump with Mutavault, I probably lose. Alright. I'm probably just losing this game. Yeah, my sideboard plan was a mess. this Eldrazi plan just dodges the Aether Gust way too well. Alright, so if I tap Ulamog, no, I think I'm just dead. There's no way out of that. And like bouncing it with Brazen Borrower is kind of not a great plan either. Okay, so Mystical Dispute is in. Aether Gust is out. Stubborn Denial is still really good. Aether Gust is a lot worse than I thought it was. So how do we shove harder? I guess Brazen Borrower could buy some time against like the Eldra. Like if I could have bounced Ulamog, attacked for 5, tap them down in their upkeep so they can't replay Ulamog. Like maybe that's a line. There might be a tempo line where we can tempo through their overwhelming power. But yeah, Stubborn Denial staying in. Dispute is a lot better than I originally anticipated, though it might still be bad. It's just better than I thought. And Lightning Axe hits Thought Not Seer. Maybe that's better than Brazen Borrower? Maybe it's better than this Phoenix, because we have to be faster. Alright, Dispute might just be bad. I'm off it. If they have Ulamog, they have Ulamog. Like this is the deck here. Yeah, there's like one Ulamog, Ugins. I guess Walking Ballista is kind of rough. Whatever, let's just beat it. I'm gonna keep this. I do need another red or blue source for this hand to really function, but it's close enough to not mulligan. I have some spells to cast. Alright, our opponent went to 6. Yeah, this hand has Bone Crusher Giant and Stubborn Denial. That's not super exciting, but I definitely need a land like right now, or else this whole thing's gonna fall apart. I would like to stomp them at the end of their turn and then play Bone Crusher Giant on my turn, and then just play from ahead with my 4/3. That's how I need this matchup to go. Oh, the Mighty Grazer. Ooh, Scavenger Grounds, bummer. Alright, so I'm gonna go upstairs here. And I'm gonna draw a land and cast it. Shit. Alright, we're fucked. Yeah, on the play, we really need to get in under the Hour of Promise. And K-Return is a solid card for when they eventually start making zombies, but it doesn't help when they start making Thought Not Seers, which is like right now probably. Cascading Cataracts. That means Golos is in their deck somewhere. Come on, deck. Ugh. Alright. Our 25 land deck again failed to produce a third land by turn 3. Yep, Hour of Promise. It's immune to Stubborn Denial because we couldn't get our creature into play. Now we're definitely dead. They're going to make a bunch of zombies here. So they get to flip Orbital next turn. I have Brazen Borrower though, so we're not. Could be worse, I guess. Maybe they just go in on that. That would be insane. So drawing a land now would be, I mean, obviously drawing a land is our whole plan forever, but drawing a land now would be extra good because we get to cast one of our 4/3s, and then maybe they think the coast is clear to Abbey. I'm going to stomp the Rejuvenator. Oh, it didn't attack. Okay. I'm still going to stomp the Rejuvenator. Try to control their creatures at least a little bit. Oh, perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. Alright, now I hope they go in on the juice, but there's absolutely no reason to do that. It would be a really bad play. But I hope they do it, obviously. So if they activate Field of Ruin, they get another land drop. Okay, they can go in on the juice and still have all their zombies? Oh, that was just a no value grazer. Oh, looks like they're gonna sack the grazer to the Abbey. Okay. So it looks like we're gonna get to bounce Ormondal and then also K-return all these other jerks away. So, and I have to... Okay, so I have to dance a little bit around this here. So they're going to make a land drop, which is going to make them 2 more zombies. That land drop is going to be Ormondal, or Westphal Abbey. So I have to respond... I have to let the first field trigger resolve and respond to the second to wipe out as many zombies as possible. Alright, you need to sack 5 creatures for this. Yes, okay, so up to 4 creatures, then before they get 5, let's clear these out. I guess they could Field of Ruin in response and still get it. I don't think I could play around that. If they Field of Ruin in response, so they still have enough mana to do what they want. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. They did not take that line. We're good. Though I think they could have. Oh, they just had another great spell. Didn't matter. So just imagine this game playing out exactly the same as it did, except I was attacking for 4 every turn. Would have easily won. Though, at this point, we're way past the opportunity to win this game ever. Like, Kozilek's return off the top would reset their Ormondal for another turn. I'm not convinced any of that matters. Yeah, they just turn their zombies sideways and we're dead. Ugh. Alright. That was an ugly one, but you can see how that matchup could play out. Pioneer's not a format you can stumble in, which is why there's 25 lands in my deck. Because you have to hit 3. You just always have to hit 3 on time. But sometimes your deck doesn't cooperate. What are you going to do? Alright, so we won the die roll for the first time. And our hand has 3 lands and a bunch of spells, so I'm going to keep it. Let's hope they play Llanowar Elf. Ooh, mono black. Alright. That counts as Llanowar Elf in my heart. Alright, so Mono Black is currently the menace of Pioneer. It's taking down a lot of slots and a lot of events. And our deck is pretty well suited to defeat piles of creatures. I've only played against this deck once, and I beat it pretty soundly, but let's see if that holds up again. Yeah, so my hand just has like 4 very different cards in it, so how they Thoughtseize me here is going to be pretty interesting. I don't think they're going to take a 4-drop. Ooh, I stand corrected. Alright, so they must not be able to answer that thing, which makes sense because the point of that thing is that you can't answer it. Right, so I'm going to champion here. So I really need to keep my velocity moving forward. Perfect. And so all 3 of these are removal spells. Brazen Borrower is the least permanent of the removal spells, but Lightning Axe is the spell that costs me cards. Alright, so I'm going to dump the Axe. Against the Thoughtseize deck, I'm okay losing the card that is card negative. I'm going to snap block this. Yeah, they don't have the mana to pump it. Like, easy trade there. Scrounger. Okay, so I'm shoving Chandra. This deck plays 4 Murderous Rider, which makes Chandra a little worse. Alright, this doesn't have haste. It does come back, but I'm going to make the tempo play of killing this thing. So that way, even if they do Murderous Rider it, they're not continuing to attack me. Like, if I plus Chandra instead, I, like, deal 2 to them, whatever, they're still at 18, and then they Rider. Flying Trample. Beginning of your upkeep. Deals 1 damage to each player. Okay. So Brazen Borrower can keep that under control for a while. I'm going to plus for mana. Cast Bone Crusher Giant. Bounce this. And then get one of my Phoenixes back. And hopefully I'm just going to make that same play again next turn. Now they're so far behind on board that if they waste time Murderous Riding Chandra, they're just going to die. Alright, the spawn's back. Alright, I don't have double blue, so I can't plus to Eternalize. Not yet, anyway. I can still plus for mana. Summon this thing. Bounce this thing again. And now Chandra is back up to 3 loyalty, so she can minus to kill the Spawn of Mayhem if I want to. I'm also Hellbent, making Thoughtseize a dead draw. I guess I missed 2 damage there. Like, I had enough mana to do everything I wanted to without plussing for mana. Alright, didn't matter. That's lucky. Alright, yeah, Chandra just took that game right over. So let's do more of that. Chandra coming in. I don't even think I care about most of these cards. This might be a dig through time matchup because we're just going to trade 1 for 1 so many times. And then reloading with dig is where we want to be. I don't think I want red cat melee. Like, none of their creatures is worth a land in my land hungry deck. This is basically only for mono red. Alright, so I think Flamewake Phoenix can get cut. Brazen Borrower also can get cut a little bit. Do I even want Dig Through Time, I guess, is the question. No, I don't want to be. Like, I want to be on board at all times. So, like, Dig Through Time is good when you're just like, removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, get 2 cards. But I want to be tapping out for threats when I have the window to do that. So all my Brazen Borrower being a removal spell on the bench right now makes me a little uncomfortable. But it's probably fine. It's the worst of them. Alright, that's fine. Let's run it like this. Alright, so I'm on the draw. I have a removal spell, a looting spell that can double as a removal spell, and a difficult to answer threat. That's fine. Like, you don't want to mulligan for like a quote-unquote perfect hand against Thoughtseize decks anyway, because they're just going to like shred your perfect card. Drawing a second looter is a big deal. Oh, the scooter. Alright, I can't slash that anyway. I'm just going to hold up Izzet Charm. Like, if they activate Mutavault to attack with Smuggler's Copter, I'm going to just Stone Rain them. And if they... I could also loot. There's a lot of stuff I can do here. Notably, if they were on the draw... Okay, fine. My hand has 3 of the same card in it and a Rekindling Phoenix. If they were on the draw, I could have Izzet Charmed that Smuggler's Copter. Hopefully they were using Thoughtseize to clear the way for this Mutavault. Oh, they were. Nice. Yeah, whatever. Just kill this thing. Get it gone. Yeah, they want to trade Stone Rain for 3 damage and loot. That's fine. Mad respect for them just leaning into it, though. Their hand must just be pretty bad or have lots of lands in it for them to see that I could easily kill their Mutavault and just fire it anyway. I played the Steam Vents instead of Mutavault because they don't have any ground attackers anyway, and that tells them exactly what I drew. Or are we going to make that same play again? Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, their hand must have a lot of lands in it for this to be a defensible line. Definitely killing the Mutavault again. Ooh, Fiend. Alright, so we have a long-term plan here with this Fiend now. Bloodsoaked Champion. The rate on that is 2. So I can't stop them from getting the other one back. Maybe I can. I guess I could loot now and see if I find like Brazen Borrower or a Lightning Axe. Alright, those are not what I wanted. Don't want this land. Chandra's really powerful, but also not great on this board. Alright, I'm going to go for power here. Alright, bring your attacks. Yeah, so this game brought to you by Smuggler's Copter. Discarding Spawn of Mayhem, okay. Let's see, do they have the land and return their thing? They didn't. That's interesting. Oh, hey. Alright. That was a good draw. That can tangle with Smuggler's Copter. They missed their land drop last turn too. Just like pretty interesting, because they discarded 1 and they lost 2 to my removal spells. So they've drawn 5 lands this game and still are playing the game on 2 lands. Alright, so they decided to get frisky with the Copter. Let's see if they found the removal spell they were looking for on their loot. We're discarding Murderous Rider. Rough beats. Alright, so if they have another Copter, they can just replace this one. If they have Fatal Push, they can pick off my Elemental. Alright, Grasp also picks off my Elemental. But that means they no longer have Smuggler's Copter, and I can just pick off their 1 creature. Even drew K return. Starting to get crazy. Let's see if they saved a Murderous Rider, or if that was their only one they dumped. Oh, the spawn. Okay, so I can plus for mana and just kill this spawn. Stomp. I'm going to lose Chandra to Mutavault, which kind of sucks. We have Bone Crusher Giant and Deep Fiend and K Return waiting in the wings. Yeah, there was not a line there that results in us still having Chandra, pretty sure. Alright, so I should have attacked there. That Mutavault's not going to be doing anything on defense. So if we dodge Thoughtseize for 1 turn, we should be able to just wipe them with K-Return next turn. 4 or more, okay. Hopefully they just put some more creatures into play that all get destroyed next turn. I can't imagine they would have kept Thoughtseize over Castle Lochthwain. Bile Blight. Okay, that's really good. That stops me from doing what I want to do next turn. So I might need Mutavault now just to not die. Okay, this is fine. I can take 3 2 more times. I'm glad that Mutavault didn't activate. I think Brazen Borrower might be my best draw, though the Stomp dude, Bone Crusher Giant, also pretty good. They remembered their raid triggers. Or raid abilities. K-Return? Ooh, Champion. Are you helpful? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it draws K-Return, I can still do this. Yep, 1 mana short of winning this game. Though there might be a world where they just don't attack with everything or something, giving me a 1-turn window to survive. I can't imagine, though. Because Bloodsoaked Champion is a totally free attack anyway. Alright, yeah, they're just pushing in, as they should. Yep, we're dead. Yeah, Smuggler's Copter was that entire game. Every other thing they did was irrelevant except Smuggler's Copter. Okay, so do I have every answer to Smuggler's Copter? Brazen Borrower is the only card in my sideboard that could be good against Copter. Like, I have my Axes, I have 3 Borrowers. Yeah, do I want another one of these? I don't think so. Like, I don't want to get too results-oriented based on that one game where Copter was unbeatable. But that was close, and we're on the play this time, so Izzet Charm can snag a Copter. Oh, this mana is bad. But I do have K-Return 2 Borrowers. I'm going to keep this. It's pretty awkward, but it's also doing a lot of what I want to do. And like I said last game, like mulling to like the perfect 5 or 6 against a Thoughtseize deck, you're just going to lose. Alright, so I lose my K-Return. Still have 2 Borrowers. Joke's on you, that's right where I want that. Alright, Lightning Axe can cover a Copter. So do these Borrowers, though. So I really hope that their follow-up is just Smuggler's Copter, because I'll bounce it so fast. Alright, there it is. Get in the chopper. Get out of the chopper. Come on, land. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I'm just going to slam that thing into play as a 4-3. Though maybe I should. No, I should. I'm doing it. Okay, so now they have to react to my board. They are under pressure. And I'm not just like in a holding pattern of bouncing Smuggler's Copter every turn. Now I have a real threat that they have to deal with before they can get ahead. Alright, Thoughtseize probably taking Phoenix. Though all these cards are fine. Yeah, finding another blue-red land, or even one or the other, a blue or red land would be great. All right, Chopper's back. Another Bone Crusher Giant. All right, they showed me Bile Blight last game, so I'm not trying to play straight into that. So if they play a creature that can crew Copter, okay, they get my Lightning Axe. So I can just bounce the Copter if they crew it, stomp the creature that crewed it. Swift End, taking 1,000,000. Okay, their end is Swift. So I can stomp them end step, play my 4-3, or I could bounce Copter end step and play my 4-3. I think I want to push the damage. Look at all, my opponent is joining me in the adventure zone. That's fun. Alright, so they have the Murderous Rider. That can crew the copter. But I'm still... That'll take most of their turn. I'm still ahead on board here. Way ahead on life. And I have bigger whammies I can draw off the top of the deck than they do. So I like the position, though we're not like just winning or anything. And I can bounce Copter, and I have 2 ways to block it now that I have double blue. So Copter's not going to really carry this game away the way it did last game. Kalitas, that's a good one. Okay, so if I play this land... So if I bounce Kalitas, they can crew Copter in response. But I'm fine trading with Copter. But then Copter can... Alright, so I think I'm just going to attack. Okay, that's fine. I'm completely comfortable removing Kalitas from play. If they crew with Copter, I think I'd rather block with Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I'd rather use this Borrower to block and kill the Copter forever than use this one to try to keep them from crewing it in the first place. Alright, I can take a zombie attack. I'm not going to put my Mutavault in front of that. Not yet, anyway. Maybe someday. Rider. Alright, let's just draw a Deep Fiend and win the game. It's not a Deep Fiend, but it is very good. I'm kind of hoping they do block with Copter. Alright, so now that they made that choice, I can bounce the Copter. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Alright, get your Copter out of here. I'd rather have this 4-3 in play than stomp their zombie. So this is kind of the power of our deck. Like, we're just playing this perfectly reasonable, like, tempo, grindy creature kind of game. And then also just if we draw Elder Deep Fiend at any time the game ends. Right, double choppers. All right, so let's do some math here. If I fire up Mutavault, they can block with Murderous Rider. Yeah, there's no reason to do that. So Flamewake Phoenix has to... I'm going to attack with everything else. They're probably going to trade a Copter for Bone Crusher. And they can eat Flamewake Phoenix for free, but then they don't... They take 3 off the Brazen Borrower. Main phasing the Phoenix might have been a mistake. Oh, okay. They're letting me keep the Bone Crusher. Alright, I think that's a mistake, unless they have a removal spell for it. Because that lets my Flame Wake come back. They probably need to gain some life here. Yep, there it is. Let's hope they can't kill this thing. I would really like my Phoenix to come back. Blood-Soaked Champion. Okay. Alright. We're in there. So now do I activate Mutavault? I think I do. Now that their lifelink creature is accounted for. Just shoving for damage now. Let's get over this finish line. Champion can't block. If Zombie crews, then it can't block. So unless they have a removal spell, they have to block the giant. They can't block the... Oh, wait. The thing... Alright. Bloodsoaked Champion can crew. It can't block. Alright. Then I can play my Brazen Borrower at their end step for another flying threat. Alright, cool. They didn't draw a removal spell. Now if they remove Bone Crusher Giant, they die because they take 2. Oh, they discarded a Scrounger. That's pretty sweet. Okay. Alright, so if they attack with Murderous Rider, go up to 4, have a removal spell, go back down to 2, then my Phoenix doesn't come back, they could still do this. Alright, that attack indicates to me that they don't have a removal spell. Or at least not with one they want to point at Bone Crusher. Let's see, do we get to this trigger? Okay. I'm going to attack with just my flying creatures. They could double block Bone Crusher, and this recursive Flame Wake is just too good here. Alright, and we did it. That was an awesome game. Really tight stuff. Never drew a Deep Fiend, but if we did, the game would end on the spot. So that was just fair and square, beat them at their own game. That was sweet. Okay, so we're on the draw, and this hand is not particularly capable. And the temptation to be like, I have a loot effect. That could be anything. It could also be 2 lands. So, like I said earlier in the video, I always plan for the worst. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to bin one of these borrowers. So we need our 3rd land, but otherwise this hand's pretty great. We get the bonus Lightning Axe, where it's card advantage instead of card disadvantage. Let's just hope that that's actually good in this matchup. Like, if we can axe something turn 1, borrow something turn 2, and then jam champ on turn 3, that's exactly what this deck wants to do. So let's hope we find our 3rd land and do it. Alright, so we're up against mono black again. I am pretty cool with that situation. We drew a Kozilek's Return. That's a good one to have against this deck. So I'm probably just going to axe this thing. Yeah. My only hesitation there was that Lightning Axe is also my cleanest answer to Smuggler's Copter. Getting Thought Seized, probably taking Brazen Borrower. Though Champion of Wits is the best card in my hand. They might also just be afraid of Kozilek's return, so all of these cards are fine. We're going to need a third land for any of those lands, but we'll take it. Alright, they did take the champ. They know what this deck actually does. Bummer. And a 4-drop, just what we're looking for when we're stuck on lands. I'll just nothing go. Shit. Right, that looks like a murderous rider to me. Or they're just their hand is just bad. I don't know. Land maybe? Alright. Another spell we can cast. I'll happily stomp this Mutavault if they try to get frisky. Nice. I'm just going to stomp it before it attacks in case they have any sort of raid payoff. Alright, we're in this game. So I can bounce that basically anytime. So I'm going to get on board here. Ooh, Phoenix. I forgot that was down there. Thanks, Moto. So they can... oh, they're just backing it in. All right. Yep. Spot removal, spot removal, spot removal, threat. That's how you beat the mono black deck. All right, so I'm going to board the same way I did last time. Just Chandra plus the 2 Wild Slashes. And what did I take out last time? I think I took out 2 Rekindling Phoenixes, or 2 Flamewake Phoenix and a Brazen Borrower. I still think that's pretty clean. I like it. Alright, so we have 3 lands. We have 2 removal spells, 2 threats. This is a good hand. Just straight up powerful hand for the archetype. Yeah, Thoughtseize doesn't really collapse me here. I think they take this, but we'll see what they want to do. And this Thoughtseize is their only clean way to kill Rekindling Phoenix, but Izzet Charm is my only early interaction. And depending on how much they respect the front half of K return, that's also a consideration. This is the only one that's safe. Though they're welcome to take it if they want it. Alright, they went with the Phoenix. So that shows me that they're ready to play through all this other stuff that's hard to beat. And they're scared of this 4-drop. Alright, they have Copter. That makes sense. Ooh, we drew Lightning Axe. We're so lucky. Never did nab it. Let's go. I probably should have played Steam Vents now that I drew a 1-man interaction. Rotting Regisaur, my goodness. Okay, that's fine though. Alright, so I could just take my beats from this and kill Regisaur next turn. That's probably a better plan. Okay. Yeah, so I can make them discard in their upkeep and then Lightning Axe plus Izzet Charm, the Regisaur. Alright, so cost them a card, cost me a card, everyone's even. Regisaur is a powerful sideboard plan. Though they were on the mulligan and on the play, and Regisaur trigger just resolved, so they're down 3 cards from me. I would love to kill this Mutavault. Can I afford to take 10? Okay, so bold strategy incoming. So if I just take 10, go to 7 here. No, that's probably just bad. All right. Like, I could have got them to Hellbent and just, like, end step Kozilek's returned. Yeah, I think that's just asking for trouble. If I can just save 7 life here, I'm going to. Alright, so we'll be able to Kozilek's return and sweep their Mutavault this turn. Unless they have Thoughtseize, then we're not going to be able to do that. Okay. That's fine. We knew that was coming. I'm going to wait until the end step to do it in case they draw and play another X2 or smaller threat. There's no reason to do it now. They also know about the return, so there's no reason for them to play out any more things. Alright, Mutavault was one of their best finds there. Another game brought to you by Smuggler's Copter. Let's find an answer to that thing and win. Someday, maybe. Let's hope they draw Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize me. Yeah, so Brazen Borrower is a good one. I'd be pretty happy with a Chandra. We can hardcast Lightning Axe, so that would be pretty good too. Bonus Copter. Alright. Deep Fiend. Alright, if we find some way to emerge this, we'll be okay. Alright, they're still in Mutavault mode. I would certainly prefer getting attacked by only one of these instead of both of them, so thanks for that. So if I draw a 3-mana creature, like any of my adventure creatures, I can play it and then also emerge Deep Fiend off it immediately. Oh, and I can do it all as an instant. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Alright, we should be able to just blow them straight to the Stone Age here. Alright, please activate both Mutavault, or both Copters. Activate the Copter. Do it. Yes. Alright, so then before combat, blue, blue, 1. And emerge. Boom. Tap, 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 tap for good measure. So they would have to have some sort of black give my creatures indestructible card. All right, Rider's back in their deck. I get another Deep Fiend. Tap all their stuff. All right. And I have Rekindling Phoenix in my graveyard. So I get to bring it back and then emerge right away. Yeah, they were just dead. All right. Elder Deep Fiend showed up just in time to finish that one off. A solid 4-1. Our loss was in the game where we just never drew our third land for the entire game. But otherwise, pretty strong showing for the deck. It eats up on the creature decks. Like we just beat mono black twice in a row. One of them was a complete stomping. The other was pretty tight. But I'm a big fan of this deck. This shell is very strong. I hope that other people keep working on it, add extra colors, change the support for the shell, whatever, make it better. Better deck builders than me out there. So let's see how you do it. But I recommend this deck moving forward. Big fan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.